Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome along on this wintry Sunday night to the one and only Brands Hatch. Yes, that's right, we are here for a 1 hour race at Brands Hatch with the Sop Motorsport team. I am Double O Raven, as I will just bring that up for you. I am indeed enjoyed once again by the man with the plan, Sop Curly Red, otherwise known as Bailey. How we doing, Bailey?
Very good. How are you?
Yes, I'm not too bad, mate. I'm not too bad at all.
Cool.
I'm just going to bring... There we go. Sorry, I'm just going to bring up the pictures now. As per usual, there's always a technical gremlin that likes to come along and give us a quick hello. We'll tell you what, before we get started, here's the guys on track. We do have a current pole sitter, PCR Patricek, 1 minute 23.0, Bailey.
Yeah, that's quick. That's very quick.
That is very, very, very quick indeed. As I said before, quick look. Yes, I am indeed Double O Raven. This is SOP Curly Red 12, otherwise known as Bailey. You are joining us tonight for a 1 hour race around Brands Hatch. It is, of course, a very historic British course, Bailey. It came around in 1950. It's been changed 6 times. It's up from a mile to 2.433 miles, and some amazing turns and twists, and just an amazing all-round track with some great overtaking spots as well, Bailey.
Can you hear me? Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you, yeah.
Okay, cool, yeah. You cut out a bit then, so I'm not too sure.
Sorry. Oh yes, so I was just saying, Bailey, it's the track 2.4 miles long, very twisty, very turny, very undulaty. Yes. It can very easily upset your car. It's going to be an interesting race tonight, watching these guys keep it on track.
Yeah, I mean, struggling to keep it on track around this track is definitely a challenge, and you can see by the track map how short the lap is and how small the track is. You were saying, weren't you, how there was 3 right-handers, one after another, which is not your favourite part of the track.
That is correct, yes. In the Sector 2, the Hawthorne Bend, along Derek Minter Straight into Westfield Bend, up through Dingle Dell and round Sheens, those 3 right-handers are absolute horror shows. As we will jump on board, who do we have in that sector? Car number 777. 77. Murdoch the Menace, you see, coming through here. So there's him taking the first one. That is, of course, Hawthorne Bend. Coming on Derek Minter Straight. This is Westfield Bend, coming into Dingle Dell. So this little kink in the road here, then, it's a heavy brake into this right hand. You really need to cut that curve so it's not to run wide, and keep it nice and tight to get this final left-hander before you get, or the penultimate left-hander before you get the last turn on to the Bramham Straight, and that to me, it's one of the most horrifying pieces of track I've ever driven on, Bailey.
Yes.
It's certainly one of those you can very easily run wide. It just takes the slightest miscalculation and you will find yourself, if you're lucky, breaching track rules, and if you're me, in the wall, and very shortly afterwards in the pits.
Yeah, very easily done.
Quick hi to everybody in the chat. If you're in the chat, say hello. Bailey, I'm going to have to rely on you to keep me up to date with the chat. For some reason, I'm not getting a live chat.
Do a quick refresh.
So if I do a quick refresh,
it should come up.
oh, there we go.
Yep.
Is it coming up? No, it's gone away again. Sign into chat. Really? Sign into chat? I'm broadcasting. Goodness me. Right, messages will appear. But the messages will appear, so say hello. I can't talk back to you in the chat, but you can say hello to me. You are
Here we go. We have got our first comment.
There we go. Hello. Good luck. Yes, well, yeah, excellent. Good luck to all the drivers indeed. We've got 2 minutes, so we'll quickly run down the field. We'll have a quick look over who we've got, the cars we've got, Bailey. We've got Leon's Foot in a Porsche in 17th. We've got Ruster Rebel in 16th. He's in a Ferrari. We'll like him already. We've got
Ferrari.
We've got Kamzer Cheki. We're going to call him Kamikaze from now on. He's in a Lamborghini in 15th. Well, Antonelli, another Lamborghini driver, in 14th. Uni Clark, a regular in our races, is in 13th in a Porsche. We've got Philip Starr, another Ferrari driver, with Kaja Tackles in 11th in a Porsche again. First and only one of our Mercedes AMGs today is Sharka Zulu, relatively new to the community, looking to make his mark. Another guy that's relatively new, but certainly is making his mark, Fizzy Snuggles in the Audi. We've got AJ to the P in his Indigo Line Team Racing. He's qualified in 8th, so we'll be expecting moves there, Bailey. We've got Nelly Afonso in a Ferrari in 7th, Racing Dutchman in a Bentley in 6th. We've got don't know what that is in 5th. We've got Michelle.
Gobliat.
There we go. Michelle being an Audi. We've got Kubica in a Lexus. Murdoch the Menace in a Lamborghini. And Patricek is, of course, in number 13. He's in first place. So he's taking pole position with a 1:23.0, Bailey. That is a seriously impressive time.
Yeah, seriously impressive. And I know a lot of you guys in the chat always ask, what is the qualifying time? What is pole position? And that is it. 3/10 is the closest guy to him. And then it gets further and further away as we go down. AJ to the P, who is he's in our Pro Sprint Series, and he's 1.1 seconds off. So that just shows you how quick that time was. Yeah,
that really is. I mean, personally, I dream of doing a 1:24 around here, a high 1:24 daily. That's my target time at the moment for tonight's race, and it's not happening. Whereas these guys, 23. And I mean, if we look at that time, Bailey, there's actually the top 6 drivers
all in it.
All in the 23s. I think the Racing Dutchman might be slightly over
just
that.
Just out.
So the level of competition, so you could literally throw an itsy bitsy teeny weeny yellow polka dot bikini across the top. I'd say 10 guys. I mean, the top 9 up to Fizzy Snuggles within 1.1 seconds. So this is going to be an absolutely outstanding start to this race.
It is, yeah. And MSX in the chat just confirming 1:23 is rapid.
It really is. It really is rapid. Who else have we got in the chat? We've got Jude. Evening, Jude. How are you doing? Thank you for tuning back in. We've got JR Sim Racing. Hello, MSX. Hello, of course, Mustafa. How we doing, bud? And we've got Mr. Death Zone. How we doing, Mr. Death Zone? Good to see you in the chat. It's better to see you in the race, I'm going to be honest. But welcome to the chat. Are you racing tonight? Oh, please, are you in race 2B? He's going to be able to tell me he's in race 2B and completely ruin the rest of my night, isn't he? Ah, Mr. Death Zone.
Oh, God.
Ah, Mr. Death Zone. Are you racing tonight, bud? Go on. Give me it straight. Right, so what I'm going to do, the guys, once they jump on the grid, I will back out. Obviously, we've got to back out in the whole technical. The joys.
Yes.
Let's play for little blue screens. Indeed, Yuri. Indeed, Yuri. I'm going to go with Yuri Berger. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. So we do have 4 minutes to start. The drivers, the drivers or the racers. Can't get the letters there right. Or correct, or proper. But the drivers at the moment, so they've got 3.5 minutes. They'll be making some last minute adjustments, Bailey. We do obviously have the mandatory pit stop. You can go this whole race on one set of tyres and one tank of fuel, but we do have mandatory requirements to add fuel. So we could see, or we are going to see, a wide variety of strategies here, I think, Bailey.
Yes. Yeah, I'm not the best technical guy to ask about strategies, but I just know with a short track, you're going to want to stop probably about halfway. Am I right?
Well, that is certainly going to be, I would say, the majority of the strategies that will see the drivers taken up. You may get some guys at the back who decide to put very little fuel in to try and keep themselves quick and in the race. pit early and then look for a long second stint, and then of course you're going to get drivers. I think AJ to the P, he does like to pit late. I'm noticing that in a lot of these events. He
last
does
of the late
like
bitters,
to pit.
yeah.
He really does
Likes
like
to extend.
Pit late.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm wondering if anybody's going to follow him. I think as well, Fizzy Snuggles, he does like to pit a bit late as well, from what I've seen in races that I've been in with that. Well, I say what I've seen. He is light years quicker than I'll ever hope to be. So he could pull a late pit strategy as well. So I think he could be. And Uni Clark, let's not forget, Bailey, as you and I well know again from our endurance commentating, Uni does like to leave it late as well. So there is definitely scope for a lot of action, and there's going to be some serious car-on-car action right through this whole entire hour, Bailey. It's going to be epic.
Yeah. Well, epic is the only word to describe. I think this track and as well these drivers are it's gonna be a good one. Definitely, always is.
It is. Or it was a bit. Oh, Mr. Death Zone. Well, thanks very much for that. He did say in the chat, Bailey. Look up. Yes, I'm in 2B. Haha, no, I'm in race 2. Well, thanks very much for that. Let's kill the commentary team before the start. D-Strap, how you doing? In your blue and white Lamborghini, mate. You'll be racing tonight as well, I hope. Although I think you've signed up for a different race to us, bud. I think you've signed up to 2A. There is a minute and a half to go the session, so what I'm going to do is my mandatory back out. But while I do, our next event that we have, obviously there's another race after this one. Simon will be casting. He'll be taking care of that one for 2A. I will be hoping to keep my car on track for more than a lap at a time with some of my friends in race 2B. But then obviously next weekend, that's right, we have the Silverstone 2.4 hour event. Bailey, I know you're taking part. There we go. That is the sound of an enthusiastic driver, Bailey. You're not looking forward to this one, mate. Tell me you are.
No, I am. I love Silverstone as a track, Formula 1 track, in Formula 1 cars, sorry. But GT3 cars, yes, absolutely, all for it. 2.4 hours, not so much.
Indeed. It's going to be a good one. You won't see me MSX, I'll be at the back. We've got Johnny Bizzett in the chat as well. The chat is lighting up, everyone. Say hello. You're joining myself, Double Raven, and SOP Curly Red, also known as Bailey, here to guide you through this 1 hour at Brands Hatch. I am, of course, marginally stalling while we wait on the game to load after we get kicked out. The guys should be closing in, Bailey. How are they getting on their opening lap, bud?
Well, I think it's about 30 seconds before I jumped out, so you should be good to jump in when...
Excellent. So I'm just going to make the necessary arrangements. I will say a quick hello to Vince, who's just said hi in the chat. Thanks for joining us
hello.
on this Sunday night. We hope you motorsport fans will certainly be entertained. I can almost guarantee you will if you've got AJ to the P
100%.
starting outside the top
100%.
5. So he will be making moves. Let me just quickly type in the relevant password.
Just quick mention as well, John.
Yes.
If anyone hasn't already, follow our Twitter. We do post a lot on there in terms of updates and announcements. A lot more engagement up there as well. We've got 105 followers, so get that up, please.
Yes. So everybody jump on board. Let's get some likes and subscribings on here. SOP Motorsport. Yeah. We are very near. We are very almost at 1,000 drivers.
Yes.
Will you be number 1,000? There was a number 400 as well you gave me, Bailey. What was the 400 for? Sorry, remind me.
400 subscribers on YouTube, John.
YouTube subscribers. 400 YouTube subscribers. So thank you all for tuning in, like and subscribe. If you haven't done it already, why not? Yeah. What is it? Come on. Me and Bailey sitting here in our virtual wintry commentary box with a virtual bovril and warm jacket to keep you all warm as we watch the guys on their warm-up lap. Patricek with a 1 minute 23.00 qualifying time. Alien pace. And speaking of alien pace, I look in the chat and there we see Baggy 38, Indigo Line Team Racing. Indigo Line. You did actually message me, Baggy. I did correct myself on stream before I read your message. Sorry I haven't replied, but I'm busy between trying to keep a car on track and trying to keep the commentary running and flowing for you guys to enjoy what is promising to be, Bailey, an hour of Awesome racing.
Yeah, 100%. I'm just flicking through the cars. It's getting me excited. Just all these cars going to be close action, and yeah, good mixture of cars, good mixture of drivers. Some names I've never seen before, which is really good to see, and some regulars, which is even better.
Yep, it really is. We have had a couple of late entrants. So
Yep.
we are up to 18 drivers with Triable Fern at the back of the grid. We know he can drive, so this is going to be interesting, Bailey, as we're coming round the last corner to start them off for this race this evening. And here we come. So we're going to jump on board with Kubica in third. We'll jump back through the action. Everyone fingers crossed for a nice quick clean start as we see AJ's Indigo Lime racing car there. And away they go, and they are indeed off as we got moves in the background, 3 wide, as the Ferrari of Patricek keeps everything nice and clean. We've got a minor bit of contact there between second and third, but it looks like they've got through 3. Kubica has made the move, so Kubica has moved up to second place. And we've got someone going off, sorry Bailey?
Michelle B in fourth has gone off. He's been spun, and he's lost it in the first corner.
Oh wow, so that is not going to be good for Michelle. So yep, so Michelle, and just as we look at this now, I've just jumped on board and missed. So there we go. Oh, Alfonso, sorry, he's been involved in an incident there, run wide in turn 3. So it's been quite a hectic start here as Patricek has got himself a 1 second lead as the rest of the pack is concertining up. Coming into the Minter Straight, so this has been an absolute raucous opening here, Bailey.
Yeah, and I'm just watching Kubica. He's just gone a bit wide on the. I can't tell you what corner that is. I'll get the track map up for myself so I can name them. But I think the cars are struggling. I think, to be honest with you, Patricek, if that's how you say it, is the only one that's been able to get his tyres up the temp, everything up ready to go racing.
Yeah, he certainly does seem to have made the best of the start. So at the end of lap 1, Patricek is indeed in first. Kubica has made a move up to second. Murdoch the Menace has been at the receiving end of that move. He's down to third, with Gobelat up to fourth. Racing Dutchman up to fifth. AJ to the P has made moves with all these incidents. He's got himself under the bumper of the Racing Dutchman in 6th. Fizzy Snuggles has made a move. He's got a close train in behind him of Cacciataco's Lee Antonelli, Sharkazulu, Uni Clark and Philippe STR. In fact, Kamikaze is tucked in there as well, with Leon's foot not far off the back of that, so it's still close up to 14th with Nilo Fionzo. We did see him make a mistake here on the last lap. He's kept it clean on this lap since 16. Ruster Rebel in the Ferrari is in 16th. Triable Fern is in 17th, and Michelle B is in the pits with a fairly beleaguered looking Audi, I would say there. Bailey, that one looks like he's taken quite the ban.
Yeah, he did hit the wall quite a lot, quite heavy, sorry, and I'm not surprised he's pitted for his mandatory pit stop so early. He's probably taking on a lot of fuel now, though, am I right?
I would imagine. Well, the thing is, you could probably do this race. You more likely do this race with one fuel tank, so it depends on what his strategy
just
was.
the tyres, maybe.
So it would entirely depend on what strategy he came out with. He may well be looking, but and he's picked up a stop go penalty.
Oh, no way.
So he's picked up a stop go for speeding in the pit lane. So that
he's going to be lapped as well.
Yeah, so that is bad to worse. Bad to worse, unfortunately.
Oh, wow. Let's jump to Lee Antonelli. I like to watch the Lamborghini driver race.
Yeah, we'll jump on board with Antonelli. As you see, he's right up at the back of Cacciatago in the Porsche there. He's got Sharkazulu, the only AMG driver. And we've got Uni Clark in a Porsche. It's not the car we often see Uni in. But he has joined this race in a Porsche and thrown it around there rather magnificently in 10th place, while defending from Philippe and the Ferrari behind him. So the mix of cars, we've got 5 Ferraris being represented here. We're low on Bentleys for once, Bailey. It's not often there's a low turnout of Bentleys with these guys.
Yeah, to be honest with you, that's a surprise. We don't see that often.
No, we certainly don't. We jump back up to Murdoch the Menace. He is absolutely looking to get this place back from Kubica. He is in the middle of a Lexus sandwich at the moment. and I'd imagine he'll be looking to get himself in front of Kubica as quickly as possible. He's certainly keeping well within distance. As Patricek, he's in the lead, but he's not extending that by much. He's just keeping it clean and consistent just now. As we see the Lexus of Gobolat have a little look there. Got himself.
Can we jump back on board with Kaga?
Yeah, jump back on board with Kaga, yep.
There's a huge battle behind him with the Porsche, the Lamborghini, the Mercedes. They're all going through Paddock Bend now. And a bit of bashing going on, a bit of pushing, but very clean so far. As the Porsche goes up the inside of the Lamborghini. And he's going to get the move done, I think. I'm not too sure. I didn't see anything with the Lamborghini in terms of incidents. But he's maybe just not got the same turn in as that Porsche. As he struggles to get around the corner over Surtees, is it?
Yes, we believe that is. As we see Uni Clark absolutely getting the move done and completely making it stick to gain himself a place. Now he's going to be chasing down Sharky Zulu, who is keeping Kajitako's honest in that Porsche. So this is a fabulous midfield battle. As
it is.
So pit updates already, Bailey. Less than 6 minutes into the race, we've got Michelle B has pitted and cleared as mandatory. We've got Fizzy Snuggles who's pitted and cleared as mandatory. Neil Afonso has pitted and cleared as mandatory, and Michelle B has also cleared his stop-go penalty. So he is now racing to the end.
Yeah, that could be, if he's got the pace for it, I mean, it would be quite good to see as we watch AJ to the P. Who's he on? He's racing the same car. And it's very close now, John. Very, very close. Is he going to be close enough to make a move?
Well, if it's AJ to the P,
no.
The answer to that should always be probably yes.
Yes,
I mean, let's face
probably,
it, he absolutely is at one with that Bentley. We have, let's be honest, we've seen him make a couple of slight mistakes in the last few races, but as far as clean and consistent goes, he is absolutely Mr. on the ball. Of course, his teammates in the chat bag, he gives another hello. You've obviously put him in his place a couple of times, so let us know how the team dynamic's working out. We're keeping the new guy in his place, which is what we like to see. Gobolat seems to be dropping off the back of Murdoch the Menace and falling into the clutches of the Dutchman and AJ to the P. They two are absolutely harassing him now. So AJ,
yeah, they are.
He could well be lining up a double move here if they can get a clean Minter straight and get onto the Brabham straight right up close to one another. And I think,
well, go on.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I think this could be a double move coming on halfway through the next lap, Bailey.
Yeah, and I've backed that up with the fact that both the Lexus of Gobliat and Racing Dutchman and the Bentley have been going a bit wide in, I think it's Hawthorne. AJ's been keeping it on the track, so that could be I've seen a few people kick up some dust there as we just watch AJ. Is he going to be close enough for a move this time? Oh, he thinks about it. He does think about it. Just a bit too far back, or the Dutchman just came across a little bit, which is absolutely fine, and a bit of defending is all we like to see.
Oh yeah, you've got to defend. If the car's not alongside, then you're absolutely entitled to close the door and remind them that it is indeed your apex. Making weight. As we see another Ferrari, I do believe that was Triable Fern, has come out of the pit. So we've got 4 drivers in the first 10 minutes, Bailey, have taken their mandatory pit stop. And one of them obviously was for damage, but another 3. So when we're talking about a variety of pit strategies and AJ might go long, we've certainly got guys that have gone the complete opposite way and got it out the way early. And we've got someone in the chat, MSX, is pointing out that Fizzy was getting it with traffic. He was stuck in traffic. So his pit stop was completely strategic. He is down in 16th, but he does find himself with a lot of clear track in front of him. So if he can get the head down and get himself some clean, consistent laps, he's going to find himself a lot further up the field than 15th, I reckon.
Yeah, absolutely. And if they've, like you said, if they've got the pace and they can get the job done cleanly, and well, mostly cleanly, because it's quite hard not to go off the track here. I think they could be in for a chance of moving up plenty of positions, especially with all these guys wanting to pit.
Oh, and curse to the commentator, just as we say that, Fizzy has himself a little bit of a wiggle there. That's one of the corners that I too am not a big fan of. Graham Hill Bend, the exit to there along the Cooper Straight is an absolute killer if you get it wrong. We're going to jump back on and find ourselves some action. There is plenty of that about.
AJ! Sorry, John. He went to the move and he's pushed the Dutchman off a bit, or there was a bit of
contact,
outbreaking, I think it was, to be honest with you. I don't think they were that close to make contact, but they both went wide on the Cooper Straight, which is what I was saying. They're all going to go wide some point, and that's where he was, but AJ didn't keep it. He sort of followed him and copied him as we just... Who's that? Is that a back marker? Yeah, it's a back marker in the Ferrari.
Yeah, a back marker in the Ferrari. Yeah. Ruster Rebel is still in the pits. That's quite a long pit stop he's taken, so he's either fueling or repairing some damage. We're just on board with Gobalat there, who has now got himself back up to Murdoch the Menace after this little incident between AJ and the Dutchman. So that's given him some nice little breathing space there. So he has definitely benefited massively from that, as the two Bentleys who have swapped positions now begin the hunt to try and track them back down.
Absolutely. And AJ is a man on a mission. Goblet in the Lexus, who was being pressurised by both Bentleys just about 2 minutes ago. I think we were saying he was putting pressure. They were being putting pressure on him, but he seems to be putting pressure on Murdoch now. Am I right? Yeah, Murdoch in third, so that's third position.
Yes, it is. So he's looking to take himself a podium spot early and make the most of it.
Absolutely.
He does have a
back marker.
Yeah, there is a back marker in the Ferrari who needs to. Yeah, that's it. Just steal it. Right. Oh, as AJ's about to come past that back marker as well. So it is getting busy in the middle of the field.
It is getting a bit
we
close.
are jumping on board with Kamikaze. He is in up behind Cacciatago's, and he is less than half a second off the back of him, which is well within slipstream range. As we see the guys coming round off of Surtees, they'll be looking to hammer the foot down as they come around Hawthorne and Derek Minter up to Westfield, my favourite place. There is Baggy saying hello in the chat. Thanks for joining us again, Baggy. Are you racing tonight, Baggy? Please don't tell me you're in 2B. Not sure I could handle that. So we're going to jump back on board with Gobalat. He's up in the Lexus and he is absolutely closing that gap, about a tenth or two per lap. So he will be looking to get a move done on Murdoch sooner rather than later, I'd say. He definitely, I would say, is showing more pace. Keeping him nice and in there. So it's just about Murdoch's defensive skills. But this is obviously playing right back into the hands of AJ.
Yeah, I think I'll keep an eye on that. Oh, no. Okay. And AJ nearly lost that. Did you see that? Did you catch that?
No, we never. No, we were on board with Gobalat watching his battle for Murdoch.
He went on the grass and I think the tyres span and he nearly binned it. Nearly. He caught it. Good on him.
Yes.
And he's lost time.
Yes, he has lost time. He's lost about 0.6 of a second there, so that has been a costly mistake by AJ. We'll have a quick run through the field. So Rusty Rebel has come back at the pits. He has back in the Ferrari, so he is back lapping again in 16th. Triable Fern, Rusty Rebel's in 17th actually, Triable Fern's in 16th. Fizzy Snuggles is in 15th with clear track, looking to make his way back up after a pit stop. Neil Alfonso is in 14th. He is our lead pitted driver. We've got Lee Antonelli in a Lamborghini. That's a tongue twister right there. He is in 13th, but he is looking to make on-track moves. Let's stay on board with him at the moment because he is less than 3/10. He's gone side by side. Signalled his intention to make an overtake. Oh, and he's got sideways big time, and he's lost that. And I would imagine that is a painful one there as the Lamborghini finds his way into the wall. Went side by side with Leon's foot there. I'm not sure, couldn't see from the camera angle if there was any contact. He did seem to get a lot of sideways coming out with that bend, which is one of my favourite, of course, Sheens.
Yes.
So he got sideways out there, so that's done him a fair bit of damage. So he's going to lose places as Leon Foot. Yeah, he's coming to the pits to get some damage repaired. So Leon Foot is in 12th, Phillips is in 11th, Kamikaze in 10th, Cacciatacos is in 9th, with Kamikaze still breathing down his neck. Uni Clark is starting to close the gap on Sharka Zulu in our solo AMG this evening. Racing Dutchman is in 6th with AJ to the P in 5th. Gobalat is in 4th with Murdoch the Menace breezing down his neck, but they have closed the gap. Even though they've closed the gap to Kubica. So these three really are fighting for these 2 podium places, as Patricek finds himself 4.2 seconds ahead as he comes round to start lap 10, Bailey. So he really is getting the job done at the moment.
Speaking of Patricek and his pure pace by the seams, pure genius, he's 4 seconds ahead. And speaking of fast drivers, Baggy in the chat seems to be eyeing up maybe a possible opponent in the future. He says Patricek seems very handy.
Indeed, that is high praise indeed coming from Baggy, let's face it.
That is.
I mean, I wouldn't want to say it in front of Baggy, but he really can drive.
No.
The guy's quick. I would never say that in front of him, though, obviously. But no, that is high praise indeed. It's like Ronaldo telling you can play football. So Patricek certainly is looking handy. He's just taking himself another 3/10 here. Obviously, this is playing right into the hands. But look at these 3 guys. There's just under a second and a half between the 3 of them fighting it out. We're going to call this a battle for 2nd place now. It's no longer between 3rd and 4th. This is very much 2nd, 3rd and 4th place looking to play this out. AJ has dropped off another 3/10. But I'd imagine the battle in between these 3 will be music to his eyes, Bailey. This may well bring him back into the race.
Well, you can't deny that you've not sat in your car, and if you see a few people battling, and if you think about it, you add it up in your head, that's 2nd position, 4th, 3rd and 2nd all together, and if something goes wrong, that's all yours. So I mean, I'm sure he's thinking about his pit strategy and how it can plan out if he gets past them. Maybe that's his plan, to get past them early on.
Well, the undercut is certainly something that works on this course.
Yeah.
So if you can put in the laps, you can certainly make that work. As Gobalak's actually dropped off the back now, so he has lost himself a bit of time there as Murdoch, and Murdoch has just gone completely off.
He's off.
Murdoch has completely run wide through Surtees there, coming back into down here towards Graham Hill. So AJ is going to gobble up that place as well, and I think the Racing Dutchman could well be looking to make a little move there as Gobalak says thank you very much and finds himself up to 3rd place.
Wow. So that was what I was talking about, wasn't I? It's just one mistake and everyone moves up one. AJ and even AJ, he's not moved up a position, but he's got a position to fight for now.
He really does. Really does. He's in 5th place. And he finds himself 6/10 behind that Lamborghini of Murdoch the Menace. So we get the feeling that it's going to be AJ doing some menacing here, Bailey, for the next few laps.
Yes, absolutely.
So if you're in the chat, by the way, feel free to say hello. Give us a like, give us a subscribe. SOP Motorsports on Twitter. Join the website, join the Discord, join the racing. We've got 5 servers that we run. We've got European races, we've got American Eastern Coast that run at the Eastern Coast time. So yes, definitely jump in. There's Mr. Flynn saying hello. How are we doing, Mr. Flynn?
Hello.
Welcome to the chat and welcome to tonight's broadcast. Thank you for joining us. This is SOP Motorsport, the home of PS4 ACC racing. I am Double O Raven. This is SOP Curly Red, also known as Bailey, who will be joining in the Silverstone event next week enthusiastically, Bailey.
Yes.
Your days as an actor, Bailey, I fear there may not be many Oscars in your future, young man. So we're going to jump on board with Uni Clark. In fact, no, we're not. We're going to jump back to AJ to the P because he finds himself. He's jumped back to within 3/10, so he is closer to Murdoch than Uni is at the moment. Uni just dropping off the back. AJ certainly not dropping off the back. I'm expecting to see something here. Will he make a move here? I'm half expecting somebody to pit here and do what Fizzy Snuggles has done. Someone was pointing out in the chat that Fizzy has indeed pitted to get himself some clear track, and that seems to be working out for him at the moment. AJ and Murdoch. AJ has been in a constant battle during this race. And he finds
no one's left him alone.
No. No, he's got someone chasing him, or he's got someone to follow and defending against him. So putting in another performance here. But Murdoch to the Menace, I mean, let's not underestimate what he's doing here. He is fending off AJ to the P. So,
yes.
you know what I mean?
Not an easy task.
Indeed, credit where credit is absolutely due. He is keeping AJ where he needs to keep him, which is in his rear view mirror. There's Baggy cheering on his teammate. Indigo Lime Racing.
Yes. Doesn't that livery look a bit smarter? Has he changed it? On the Bentley?
I think he has changed.
It looks very nice.
The pattern, yes, it does. It definitely does have a bit of the Joker about it, which is a Batman fan I'm all for. So definitely happy with that choice. As we're staying on board again, he's well in the half a second slipstream range.
Yeah, he's keeping it close, isn't he? And AJ is a man with a plan normally, and he looks quite comfortable sitting behind the Lamborghini driver. Look how big that Bentley is, though, compared to the Lamborghini. Like a Hulk in his mirrors, yes, absolutely.
It really is. As AJ gets himself a beautiful apex there into turn 1. The Lamborghini did run wide a bit, but he has kept it nice and on track. And oh, look how much later that Bentley can.
That's a lot of lime. Simpack Jimmy said that's a lot of lime. Well, yeah, that is the name of the team. But yeah, you're right, that is a lot of lime.
Yeah, so I hope they drink Corona. Obviously, you've got to have a lime in a Corona. Oh, and AJ losing the back end, coming through Surtees.
This is the second time now he's done that.
Yeah, and I'm completely understanding. That corner gives me nightmares. I don't know why I picked the computer mouse up. I don't need that to jump through the drivers. We're going to give Rooney Clark a bit of camera time here because he has been hunting down. Oh, and he runs a bit wide through Surtees. We should maybe stop watching drivers through Surtees. Do you think that might be what the problem is here, Bailey?
Maybe. We'll switch off after the Surtees, yes.
Yeah, we'll just put a ban on watching drivers going through Surtees. They do like to make it interesting for the viewers as they're driving through there. So that AMG currently running in lucky number 7th position.
Yes,
so
absolutely.
He'll be very, very happy with that. We'll have a quick run back through. Let's see what we've got. So we've got Ruster Rebel in 17th. We've got La Antonelli in the Lamborghini in 16th. Tribal Ferns in 15th. We've got Fizzy Snuggles in 14th. Nelly Ofonso, there we go, is in 13th. Now all those drivers have pitted, and as we've seen, this is a very short lap. And with the times that are between these guys, there's going to be some serious position jumping when Leon's Foot, Kajitako, Philip Starr, Kamikaze and Sharka Zulu all decide to pit. And as we say, that Sharka Zulu does indeed decide to pit. So that gives Rooney Clark the chance to get the foot down and try the undercut. As Racing Dutchman is in 6th, AJ to the P is in 5th, closing up on the back of Murdoch the Menace rapidly once again. Gobolat has indeed closed the gap to 2nd place. So the two Lexus are going to battle out. We'll jump back on board with them after we have a quick look at Partacek, who's coming round to complete lap number 15 in that beautiful, shiny, metallic looking Ferrari.
Bronze looking, yeah.
Yes, it really is a beautiful piece of machinery. He finds himself with an 8-second lead over Kubica, who has a rear view mirror full of Lexus. So a bit of Lexus on Lexus action here as these guys come in to start lap number 16, Bailey, and it's been all go so far. We're only 23 minutes into this race as we see Sharka Zulu coming out the pits. So it'll be interesting to see where he is in relation to Fizzy Snuggles. The timing board will need to update slightly as we're still on board with Gobolat, who is looking to get a move done on Kubica in that fellow Lexus. As AJ to the P is coming to the pits.
Into the pits. Oh wow,
so
well,
there
I missed
go.
that.
So yes, so AJ is in the pits, just short of the halfway marker on the race. So he's decided to take his pit stop, so it'll be very interesting to see where he comes back out. I think Sharka Zulu has actually got the move done on Fizzy Snuggles in the pits, so he's kept it ahead. So Fizzy's down in 14th, Sharka's in 13th, and Nelly Alfonso's in 12th. We do have AJ has come back out. It currently says 8th. I'm not sure how reliable that is. If you want to jump on and check, yes, so he is out in 8th place. Right, okay, so he's got himself a big gap to the rest of the drivers.
Do you know what? He pitted, and I looked at the map, and there was 2 cars around him or something. So he hasn't lost. Well, he's lost 3 positions. Is that right?
Yes.
Which
yes,
is very good. Very good around this track.
That is very good. Considering, I mean, these guys have got to be lapping
mad.
in the 25s, 24s.
Yeah,
I would
absolutely.
say would be the times that these boys have been putting in. So, with a 30-second pit delay minimum, it's very easy to lose a lot of time. And as we saw, one of the drivers, I believe, who was it got the stop and go? Michel, of course, who's no longer in the race.
No longer, yeah.
He's no longer in the race, so that damage must have been race ending, unfortunately. So he is no longer with us. We're still on board with Global. These two guys battling it out for second place. As Patricek is leaving them behind, 8.8 seconds in the lead he is after 17 laps. So that's a very consistent, clean performance we've had from Patricek in the Ferrari, who is by all accounts a fairly new member of the community and is now under the watchful eye of Indigo Lime Racing. So it'll be interesting to see how that young lad progresses going forward.
Wait, say that again, sorry?
Baggy was commenting on how Patricek...
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, so I'm saying he's now under the watchful eye.
He was part of Indigo Lime.
Oh, right, no, he's under the watchful eye. They're now keeping an eye on him, so... I'm sure they'll be keeping an eye to see...
Eyeing up the opponents, absolutely.
Well, indeed. As we just try and bring this up. We're still on with Gobolat here. These two guys absolutely battling out. Honestly, what would you if I was in this position, Bailey? I'd be thinking one of them needs to pit. Because this can't be doing their tyres good, can't be doing their lap times good. There's a lot of battling and defending going on. And Murdoch is eating in to the lead that they have over him. So this could well end up costing them a podium place, the battle that they're having right now.
Yeah, I mean, what was it? 4/10, both Lexuses, and this seems to be in when you do Formula 1 racing online, it's different to this absolutely, but when you have 2 cars battling, there's a bit of I'm going to fight you until you pit, or you force me to pit. It's that who stays out the longest, who can fight the longest, and this is what's happening now. They're just back and forth, really close battles. You rarely see a move done very quickly in GT3 racing. It's a lot of building up to that moment and keep making sure you stick to that person, and if you don't, then you pit, sort of thing. And I think that's what we're seeing now, the development of how Goblet is sticking to the back end of Kubica, 3/10 the gap as they do for turn 1.
Yeah, it really is, and I'm just going to keep an eye. Murdoch so Murdoch's closed another 3/10. So this battle is definitely costing these guys time. And we're wondering who is going to realise that first. Sharka Zulu has got himself very close, and I think he's about to get a move done on Tribal Fern in the Ferrari. He did show some pace early on, took his pit stop reasonably early-ish, and he's come back out in 13th and looking to get a move done on Tribal Fern, who has pitted as well. So these guys are absolutely racing for position. The problem they do have, though, of course, is that in 5th place racing Dutchman is trying to carve his way through, so not ideal for 2 guys battling for position when you've got a blue flagger coming through, Bailey.
Yeah, I mean, as Sebastian Vettel sings blue flag when he sees a blue flag, I'm sure this is what these guys will be doing shortly.
Yeah, so Sharka Zulu, he will be feeling slightly hard done by that the race leaders are coming through. As we see another 2, so Philip and Kamikaze are both in the pits. So we're starting to see that's over half the drivers now have taken their pits. AJ to the P is of course our lead driver on track that has pitted. So we'll see how that pans out. Patrice is of course still in first place, Bailey, having an absolutely fantastic race here, 10.8 seconds in the lead, with Kubica in second. And we're going to see some moves here. These 2 drivers are getting very, very, very close in the Lexus. Again, this is some serious hard battling here.
It is, yes. I mean, yeah, this is the kind of stuff we want to see. Such a good track as I think about it. It's a lovely track, isn't it?
It really is. It's one of those love-hate. When you get it all right, it really is a pleasure to drive. You really do feel connected with the high-speed corners and braking zones that you do have. As these guys are absolutely tooth and nail. These guys are battling just now. And Murdoch the Menace in half a lap has made up another 2/10. So at this rate, he's making up about half a second a lap on these guys.
Wow.
So yes indeed. So 8 laps from now, which is going to take us about another 12 minutes. These guys keep this up as Patricek is in the pits. So Patricek's pitted. He's not on his own. We've also got Leon's foot in the Porsche's pitted. So the Ferrari has pitted pretty much bang on halfway through the race. So that will give Kubica the lead and put Gobolat in second place. We'll see. Murdoch the Menace is coming across, so he is going to gain a place here. Racing Dutchman. So these guys all coming through. So if you want to jump on board with Patricek, give me a shout when he gets out the pits, Bailey. I'll jump back on with Gobolat because these two guys are still battling it out halfway into this race. It's a 1 hour race at Brands Hatch. Thank you everybody for joining in. We are SOP Motorsports and Double O Raven. This is SOP Curly Red 12. Give us a like, give us a subscribe, give us a follow. We do ACC PS4 racing. We do endurance races. We've also got a sprint league as well. We have another sprint league on the 14th, Monday. That will be the last one before the Christmas break. It's at the Hungaro Ring. So make sure you tune in for that. That will be again myself and my partner in crime, Bailey, who will be commentating on that. And that's been a fantastic opening to the season for that one, Bailey.
It has been, yeah. And I forgot to tell you that he has left the pits. He
has left the pits. Okay, Shaka Zuli has had a yellow flag incident. He's slowly getting back up to speed. Yeah. So he's had himself a mistake. And Patricek is back out the pits, and he is behind AJ to the P.
Wow,
so
okay.
AJ has worked absolute wonders there and got himself into the lead of the race. So effectively,
who is it? Well, I was just about to say, Mr. Dexton has said in the comments, AJ will end up in second when these two's pits lose in time. They are. We got Gobliat pitting now, Uniclark 36 seconds. So look how close AJ is on the map, and he's pitted already. That's ridiculous.
Yes, exactly. So as we predicted, those two battling cost them. We thought the threat was going to be Murdoch to the Menace. AJ to the P said, hold my beer. And he has gotten himself into an absolutely fantastic position to go on and win this race. He has just overtaken Gobolat in the pits and Uniclark, who has pitted. AJ to the P has put in an absolutely fantastic performance here.
So we've got some. If you just read the chat, John, you'll be able to.
Yes, one mandatory pit stop, but that's it. We think he fueled or changed tyres. He must have refueled and changed tyres, but AJ didn't. Right, okay.
He didn't, I see. Well, you said that, didn't you, at the start? Yes,
I did say that at the start. You could make it on one. So, I mean, he could have easily just put in 1 litre of fuel, not changed tyres, and gone, because I know personally, it is possible to do an hour and a half. It is ropey towards the end of an hour and a half, but certainly for someone like AJ, doing an hour on one set of tyres will not be a difficult prospect, even at a course like this that is so intensive on the left-hand tyres of your car. So he has pulled an absolute masterstroke there, Bailey.
Yep, masterstroke indeed, and I'm sure Baggy is jumping up and down currently.
Oh, I'm sure he is. Indigo Line Racing for the win here.
Oh yeah.
Kubica is our on-track leader, with Murdoch the Menace in second and the Racing Dutchman in third. But these three guys do still have to pit, and AJ finds himself a mere, it's less than 15 seconds off the back of the Racing Dutchman. Patricek, who led the race for so long, looked like he was putting in an absolute phenomenal race. Finds himself behind AJ by almost 5 seconds. He is closing the gap to AJ. He's closed it by half a second over the last 2 laps. So that could be a battle to watch out for the end. Gobolat, who was battling for so long, and Bailey were called it. That battling has absolutely cost these guys potentially a full podium.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and well, there's nothing much to say, is there really? And I did say, didn't I? It's about the. It's not. Oh, who's that going off? I don't think that's anyone important. Oh, the Sky Ferrari. Chart Zulu? No.
No, that will be Philip's STR, I think,
okay, yeah.
or Ruster Rebel. Ruster Rebel. That is Ruster
Yeah.
Rebel in 17th in that Ferrari.
Well, just to add, John, as well, they're saying in the chat, I think a lot of people are good comments in the chat. They're keeping each other entertained in the chat.
Excellent.
The good discussion about whether PCR actually made a mistake, or what the reason was him to pit, because obviously Kubica's out in front now, and he seems this Ferrari's been absolutely chucked around these corners. He's trying to make up position time. He's 3 seconds behind AJ. I don't think that's right. Something's gone on. I'm just trying to read the chat and see what they're saying.
Yeah, do you think he's maybe made a mistake? Well, I mean, because he is absolutely closing the gap to AJ. He's now, as you say, he's only 3.7 seconds, and I expect that to be... Wow, so there you go, he's only 3 seconds behind AJ. So has AJ made another mistake? Because AJ's just lost 7/10
Keep an eye
in one sector. Oh, right, so
well,
there's
it's
a
that
blue
corner,
flag
isn't it?
car.
30s.
30s, yeah, so I'm not sure if something
Who's gone
happened there,
off?
but Patricek is absolutely showing blistering pace compared to AJ here. So as we see a bit of dust coming up from AJ again. Oh, and he cut that one close as well. But yeah, so Patricek, 2.8 seconds. So Patricek is making moves to get the lead of this race back on. We are 25 laps deep. Kubica still has to pit. Murdoch the Menace still has to pit. And the Racing Dutchman still has to pit. They are our current podium sitters. We have just had another car come off the track, I believe.
Who's this 94?
94, I can't. Oh, and Ruster Rebel in the Ferrari. So things not going well for Ruster. It looks like he's retired. So at the moment, AJ to the P is our on-track leader because he has pitted, but PCR Patricek absolutely has different ideas. As we jump on board with Patricek, and we can see AJ in front.
Oh wow, yeah. Oh wow.
So
Okay.
he is absolutely, yes. And Mustafa Ranbar, as he's pointing out in the chat, AJ is on old tyres. So the decision not to change tyres in the pit may have jumped him to the lead of the race, but it is going to cost him in these closing stages. And with 23 minutes to go, if he's showing tyre wear at the moment, then it could end up costing him quite a few places. So does AJ pit and get a fresh set of tyres?
Kubica pitted. Kubica's pitted.
So Kubica is in the pits.
No way. Surely not. You don't pick the. So it's cleared his pit stop probably because he's done the fuel. Then.
Yeah, exactly. All you need to do is put fuel in.
Right.
There's no mandatory requirement for tyres.
Yeah, 42 seconds the gap to Kubica. They're saying in chat that it's going to be close whether Kubica gets out in front still. We'll see.
We are about to find out. Chris Williams, how we doing, bud? Good to see you in the chat. Baggy, not fair on everyone, to be honest. The lime green is obviously giving his car more power. That's what it is. That's what it is.
Yeah.
As they come past comfortably.
Oh, no. Oh my. Did you see that?
No, we jumped on to see Kubica exit the pits. But I think we're about to see a move made by...
AJ is struggling on those tyres. He nearly lost it then. And look how close the Ferrari is. He's going to want to defend, but I don't think he's got the power to defend.
No, he's not got the tyres to do it. He's going to send him round the outside. He's going to leave him the space beautifully. But he is struggling with the tyres here, so the pace down this back straight. Yeah,
he's slashing lights. That's bullying. It's not fair.
There you go. He's going to make him know. He's not going to go up the inside. So the two of them. So AJ is going to do a lovely bit of defending there as we come through the triple corners of death, as I affectionately call them. AJ picking up a bit of grass with the Ferrari behind her. Sorry, Bailey, on you go.
Yeah, no. Baggy saying... So someone's asked Baggy about pit strategy, and he said, just pit and take 1 litre of fuel on, no tyres.
Correct.
So has AJ done that?
Yes, I would hasten to say he has, given the difference in length of
Oh
pit stop.
wow!
Oh, it's the two guys. It's
Are we
Patricek.
watching it?
Oh yes, we are definitely watching the Ferrari and the Bentley go side
He
by
wants
side.
to fight back. He does.
There we go.
Every part of that man, every racing part of him wants to send it down the inside and fight
absolutely.
back, but there's nothing he can do if the car's not allowing it.
Oh,
see,
and a big wiggle there.
this
So
is
yeah,
it. Yeah.
so those tyres,
Oh
that's
no.
not worked out well for AJ, unfortunately. So he has been overtaken by Patricek, who has effectively taken the lead of the race. We do have the racing Dutchman in second and Murdoch the Menace in the Lamborghini in first place. These two guys still both have to pit, but they are well within the 30 seconds that Patricek will need for those guys to be in the pit for him to take the lead. AJ is down in fourth with Kubica. A lot of battling between him and Gobelat, and we did call it was going to cost these guys potentially. They were fighting for a podium position, but the battle could potentially cost them both a podium position, and it seems that has played out. Neil Alfonso, with an absolutely fantastic recovery drive in that Ferrari, finds himself up in 7th place. And Triable Fern, we did point out at the start of the race, started at the back, was worth a watch, and he has indeed found himself up into 8th ahead of Uni Clark in 9th, with Kamikaze in 10th.
Yep.
Fizzy Snuggles is up in 11th, so the early pit stop, we gained him back 3 places. With Sharka Zulu, a couple of incidents, finds himself in 12th. Philippe in the Ferrari is in 13th, with Leon's Foot in 14th. We've got Leantonelli in the Lamborghini in 15th, with Kajitako in 16th, and Ruster Rebel is in the pits. It looks like he is retired due to damage, unfortunately, but he is staying in the race. Good lad. As we jump back on board with PCR Patricek in the Ferrari, our race leader. He is sitting in third, but obviously these two guys have got to pit, and as you can see, Murdoch is 10 seconds ahead of the Dutchman, and the Dutchman is 12 seconds ahead of Patricek. I think we are about to be told by the timing. 27. So he is 37 seconds off the lead. If Murdoch decides to 1 litre pit stop and only loses 27 seconds...
Oh yeah, he's coming out. Oh yeah. He's done it, surely.
Yeah, he is going to find himself. So Patricek really does still need to get the foot down here.
Yeah, absolutely.
To close this gap. So it could well be that he's made a mistake. We're taking on, but in saying that, we're assuming that Murdoch is going to have a much shorter pit stop. But if he's gone this long into the race, he obviously doesn't need to take too much fuel on board. So we are safe in the assumption he will have a very short stop in the pits, Bailey.
Yeah, and I think that's exactly what he needs. And it's damaging these two, especially for Racing Dutchman, who stayed out for so long. He's 10 seconds in front. He's 10 seconds behind of Murdoch. But these guys staying out for so long, we've got 18 minutes left basically, and they haven't pitted. They're the only two that haven't pitted, and it's the top two. So, and there's such a big gap as well then to PCR in the Ferrari. Could cause some chaos actually. Now I think of it.
It really could, depending on how the back markers.
Yeah. Oh well, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, if they come out in traffic or not. But Murdoch is steaming on to start lap 31 without his mandatory pit stop being taken. So he is definitely getting to roughly the end of where the tyres are going to be. AJ was struggling with his tyres. We did see him spin and come off a couple of times, so he may well have flat spots from locking up his tyres, which is very easily done in these machines, as I found out to my cost at Suzuka during the week. Racing Dutchman is in second place. He does still have to pit as well. He is now within striking distance of Patricek. It's just come up. Patricek is 25 seconds behind with a 27-second pit loss. He is now in second place, definitely. Sharka Zulu runs wide. So he's given our Indigo Lime representative some space to come through. Kubica and Gobelat find themselves in 5th and 6th. Definitely the hard luck stories of this race, I would say, Bailey. These guys have got to be
Absolutely.
pretty disappointed with themselves, given that they could have just pitted, got it out of the way, but instead battled on, and yeah, it's cost them podium positions here, Bailey.
Yeah, just think about if one of the Lexuses, whether it was Gobliat or Kubica, just jumped into the pits and caused a bit of chaos for one another. But instead, like you said, they
Okay.
fine, and I'm not complaining at all.
No, definitely not. Definitely not.
But for them in this race, it has costed them. Has cost them quite a bit.
Yeah, it certainly has. It certainly has. As the Racing Dutchman and the Murdoch the Menace come out to complete another lap. 15 minutes left, so 45 minutes these guys have been going on their tyres. Patricek is 23.9 seconds behind the Dutchman. So this pit stop should rinse around to put Patricek back in the lead. Can AJ on his old tyres get himself a podium place here, Bailey?
Well, it should. Well, I did think, actually, I've been thinking a bit more about the threat of Kubica, but you're right. With the two in front pitting, and he's only 5 seconds behind PCR, so yeah, he could be in for a chance. He's
certainly in for a battle with Racing Dutchman.
Yeah, absolutely. So. But like you said, old tyres, and I think it's quite clear that the Ferrari did have new tyres. Am I right?
Yes. Very clear, the Ferrari definitely has new tyres. It was confirmed in the chat. He definitely changed his tyres.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, he is making the most of the fresh rubber as he finds himself 22.9 seconds off of the Racing Dutchman, who finally does come into the pits with 14 minutes left. So we'll jump on board with Patricek. So he's coming round the last corner. So let's jump on board with AJ, who's coming round.
Racing Dutchman's pitted.
Yes, I was just saying that. Yes, so the Racing Dutchman is in. No, you're all good. You're all good. So the Racing Dutchman's in. So we know that Patricek is going to overtake him.
That's the first one.
So there we go. So Patricek has got the job done.
Close.
Well, AJ to the P.
Ooh.
Get it done.
Whoa.
Oh, and he has got the Dutchman, but the Dutchman is on fresh tyres.
Yes, and is this a back marker behind him?
Yes, it is. That is Sharkazulu in the AMG.
Looks racy.
Yes, he is in 12th place, so he'll be looking to get himself some slipstream. So AJ's got himself up to 4th, with Murdoch the Menace still out in the lead in the Lamborghini. We've got 13 minutes left. We're on lap 32. He is the only driver still to pit, Bailey. Will he come in this lap? We are going to find out in about 4 seconds.
Yes, we are.
And he has stayed out once again. So Patricek,
he's extending.
Yes, he is extending. 53 seconds. So it would appear that either Patricek's made a mistake or Murdoch the Menace is running on a much lighter fuel load and is extending that gap, with the gap to AJ from Patricek being extended to 7 seconds.
Yeah, so he keeps on losing time, doesn't he?
He certainly does, and the Racing Dutchman on fresh rubber is within 1.7 seconds, so he is definitely going to be looking to catch up. As he run wide, and I've been blue screened. Are you kidding me?
I'll keep it up.
Yep, go for it.
Yep. So, who are we watching? I'll jump on board with PCR, and I'll keep you guys updated with the gap between him and Murdoch. As I'm just going to jump on board with Racing Dutchman, who is closing in on AJ after his pit stop with 2 seconds the gap. And AJ really struggling on those old tyres, and he keeps on getting this little snap into 30s. Just a bit of oversteer. But he's doing a good job with 12 minutes to go. Can he hold off Racing Dutchman? It's looking unlikely. Shark Zulu is a back marker. And I can't count out Gobliat with 3 seconds behind. Thank you, MSX, for the support. Gobliat behind 3 seconds to Kubica. So these two were battling like crazy in the Lexuses. And I'll keep you guys updated. Anything you want to know? Any updates you'd like me to keep you updated to? Let me know. I'll give you the gap with PCR. Yeah, Murdoch in the lead without a pit stop. He's still yet to pit on lap 34, 11 minutes to go. PCR can't give me a gap out of the Still not giving me a gap, so I really can't tell you. For some reason.
Oh, hello?
Hello.
It's working again. Goodness me, sorry about that. I seem to have lost me as well. But I'm come back
I'm
again.
just trying to get the gap between Patricek in the Ferrari and the gap to Murdoch, which I cannot get with everything. Oh, 32 seconds. Okay, 32 seconds is the gap between the Ferrari and Murdoch. So 32 seconds is quite big, isn't it? I don't think, was it that big? Yeah, it's gone down actually from 40, hasn't it? When Racing Dutchman pitted, and Racing Dutchman not making a huge impact. I think, yeah, I've got blue screen. Not making a huge impact with the fact that he's only 2.8 seconds behind AJ.
Okay, so he's only 2.8 seconds behind that. Well, I've just got myself back in, thankfully.
Cool.
As we...
One goes in, one goes out.
One in, one out, indeed. So yeah, so Murdoch still isn't pitted. Patricek is second with AJ in third, and the Racing Dutchman back in fourth. So yeah, 2.9 seconds. So he is hovering around about the same time as when he came out the pits. To AJ, we do have Ruster Rebel and Philippe both in the pits in the Ferraris. Looks like those guys have both retired. Kajis is in 15th. Leantonelli is in 14th. Leon's Foot in 13th, with Shaka Zulu in 12th. Fizzy Snuggles is up in 11th. Kamikaze in 10th. Uni Clark in 9th. Tribal Fern is up to 8th, with Neil Alfonso on a fantastic recovery drive. Finds himself up in 7th place. Gobolat, of course, fighting for a podium position early. Got himself into an extended battle with Kubica in 5th, and it's cost them both. Racing Dutchman in 4th, AJ in 3rd, Patricek in 2nd, but that will change very shortly as we find our race leader, Murdoch the Menace, coming in to take his mandatory pit stop.
Oh, here we go.
As
yeah.
Patricek is coming
left?
into Sector 3, we have 8.5 minutes of racing left.
Okay, he's gone long, hasn't he? Has it paid off though?
Has it paid off indeed, as Patricek comes around the last bend, and Murdoch the Menace is in the lead of the race as he exits the pits with a 6.5 second lead over Patricek.
Wow. Okay, that is genius.
That is absolutely fantastic work by Murdoch the Menace.
Fantastic, yeah.
So he really has put in the laps there as he comes up against a fellow Lamborghini and Kamikaze and a back marker. Let's hope he gets out the way very, very quickly as we look in the back and we say 6.8 seconds. The timing belt hadn't updated. Please get out the way, other Lamborghini, because we've got the two race leaders about to battle it out for first place. As, one Lamborghini slows down another slightly there, but this is absolutely going to be a race to the end. Oh, the Lamborghini having himself a bit of a wiggle trying to get out the way. So Murdoch the Menace did take his pit stop. He came back out in the lead, and the timing board did say 6 seconds. I'm going to hasten, it was less than 3, as Patricek is now 1 second off the back of Murdoch the Menace. So this is absolutely going to be a fantastic close-in. So, but what we've also got to remember is, did anyone notice in the chat, did Murdoch the Menace take on fresh tyres?
No, they're saying no.
No, they're saying no, so old tyres for sure. So both of these guys on old tyres, so this is absolutely going to be a fair fight to the end between the Lamborghini and the Ferrari. As we see
he's defending.
Oh, absolutely defending. He's going to go for a cutback on the inside. We've got some Murdoch love in the chat, MSX. Thanks everybody for joining. Remember, give us a like, give us a follow, sopmotorsport.com. Are you not entertained? I'm Double O Raven, this is SOP Curly Red, bringing you some red hot action on a cold wintry night. So this really is, and there we go, Patricek giving his now famous light flash
Yes.
letting Murdoch know that he is there. 3 tenths. AJ to the P is dropping off of these guys in third place, but he is extending his lead to the Racing Dutchman as we guys go side by side. Oh, they are bumper to bumper as they exit sector 2 here. Oh, they're side by side. Please, cameraman, get this one right. Oh, I tell you what, these boys are really going for it. The Lamborghini's held position though. The Lamborghini's held it.
Brilliant.
As he tries the cutback coming into the last corner. The Ferrari is still in second place. This is an absolute grandstand finish. Coming on to the Graham Brabham. The Bram Straight.
No,
there's a bit of contact. No, the Lamborghini's gone. Oh, there's been contact coming in the last corner.
Defending.
Murdoch's a menace.
The Lamborghini.
Finds himself. And he's caught AJ as well.
No, not AJ.
He's caught AJ as well. AJ's front bumper is now raised in the air. This is an unfortunate ending. Did not expect that. Indeed, my friend, that is not something we expected there
will
either.
Have a strong look at that. From what I saw, what's the rules with moving, John? Is it the same as F1?
Pretty much the same as F1. You can make one defensive move.
Yeah, there was more than one, definitely. There was a move to the outside, which arguably could be, I'm going for the racing line. And then his move for the defence was to come towards the pit lane. And that is where the grass was clipped with the Ferrari. And luckily, I mean, I'm surprised PCR wasn't completely gone as well. And caused Murdoch the Menace to spin. But then AJ then collected Murdoch the Menace, which has put Racing Dutchman back into contention for second place. But that was, that wasn't good.
No, it certainly wasn't. As we say, this is a treacherous course. It's a fun one to drive. But yeah, the Lambo clipped the inside grass a bit. He did. So the Lambo clipped the grass. Side by side, bit of contact. Patricek did manage to make his way through. We're on board with Uni Clark, who again finds
Speaking
himself...
of side by side, sorry John, AJ to 3 has just been overtaken around the outside into the final corner by Racing Dutchman.
And I'll tell you what,
that damage must be huge. Kubica, Gobliat all over the back.
Yeah,
no, not Gobliat, but Kubica.
AJ's pulled right off. So AJ is sporting some kind of damage there. He's really struggling there as the Racing Dutchman does indeed move up to take second place. Kubica has moved up to third with Gobulat looking to jump back on board. So the guys that battled and cost themselves a podium have now been gifted one back by some of the guys up at the front making some slight errors there, AJ. Bailey, sorry.
I wish I was AJ.
Not right now, you don't, I can assure you.
No, absolutely not. Look at that. Into 30s, down the inside goes Gobliat. And he completely, just look at that. Nothing he can do. There's absolutely nothing he can do. I wouldn't be surprised if he let the back marker pass, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
And as he goes a bit wide.
I think that's actually Fizzy Snuggles.
Yeah, not a good.
Down in 10. So
good day for
AJ really feeling the pain there. As Kubica is now looking to take back second place from the Racing Dutchman. He has got himself all over the back of the Dutchman very quickly here. And
we do have a race on our hands.
We really do have a race on our hands for this podium position. And if these two battle again, what would the irony be? Gobulat gets himself a podium because Dutchman and Kubica are battling.
After we slated them for battling,
Yeah, and it turns out that other people's mistakes have seen them right. So Kubica, absolutely.
Oh, he's
goes
gone for
a little
it.
bit inside up turn 2, and they've made contact. Dutchman closing the door when it shouldn't have been closed there, I would say. They were full side on side, so absolutely the move was definitely on for Kubica there. Thankfully the contact didn't result in any hindrance to either driver, so Kubica finds himself back up at the second place, and Gobulat, as they come round Surtees, if he can keep this nice and clean, they do have a Lamborghini back marker in the mix as well. So he's now getting his lights flashed for the third time as Gobulat tries to find his way through it and capitalise on Kubica's move on the Dutchman. The Lamborghini is going to make this slightly difficult by the looks of it, and he gets off the racing line. Fantastic stuff as the Dutchman catches the grass in the front there. So again, Gobulat, if he can keep this honest, he could be looking to rob Dutchman of the third place he's fought so hard for, Bailey.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you said, fighting hard is what's been happening, and Gobliat going to get... If he gets third, that would be absolutely fantastic from the Lexus driver. Racing Dutchman doing really good in third at the moment. And yeah, fantastic, like we said.
Yeah, it really is a great drive by Gobolak to keep himself in contention after that early battling. We do once again have a Lexus sandwich, but it's Racing Dutchman that finds himself in the middle of it here. He is staying within half a second of Kubica ahead on, but he does have Gobolak half a second on Gobolak.
No!
That's a horror move there, mate. Sorry, call that like it is. Sometimes we need to curb that, but that is an absolute horror show. He was less than a quarter panel up the side of his opponent there, so definitely should have backed out of that. He is...
should give that back. If I was him, I'd give that back.
You really should give that back. That is not the type of move you like to see or encourage here at Sop Motorsport. Let's just make that clear, ladies and gentle cars. We'll jump back on board with Uni Clark, a man that does know how to keep it clean, keep it mean. He is chasing down Tribal Fern in that Ferrari, so we've got a bit of Germany v Italy here. Italy is at the moment winning, but the Germans do look like they're creeping all over the back, looking to invade the front lines. As Uni Clark will be looking to take 7th place as Patricek crosses the line to start his last lap. He's actually just behind these guys, quite incredibly. Kubica is in 2nd place. He has got himself a bit of a gap now to Gobolak, who has got the move done on the Racing Dutchman. We missed that there, jumping on board with Uni Clark, unfortunately. Uni looks like he's about to get the move done as well. Definitely within 2/10. It's never big fella, and you've got the Ferrari leader Patricek up behind him as well. Will he get the move done to take 2nd place here, Uni?
We haven't seen much Porsche action, have we?
No, we have not seen a lot of Porsche action, unfortunately. Murdoch the Menace is now in the pits. It looks like he's also had to retire because of that damage. Leon Fuchs in 14th, Kajis in 13th. Leon Tonelli is in 12th with Fizzy Snuggles in 11th. Sharkazulu is in 10th. Kamikaze in 8th. Uni Clark is in 9th. In 8th, sorry. He does have the race leader tucked in behind him. Tribal Fair in 7th. Neil Alfonso is up to 6th with AJ in 5th. Dutchman in 4th. Gobolak in 3rd. Kubica is in 2nd, and PCR Patricek is coming round the last bend to complete lap 43 and take himself a checkered flag. Pole position qualifying to top step on the podium, Bailey. An unbelievable drive from Patricek there.
Yep, fantastic. Yeah, it wasn't an easy one after we thought, what on earth was he doing when he pitted? And a lot of things happened. Kubica in 2nd and Gobliat in 3rd, so those two are going to be happy, very happy. Racing Dutchman not going to be so happy, and same with AJ. He's just struggling, even now, struggling to get around the final corner. He's limping that car home, and not going to be a happy racer. But finishes 5th.
Yep, so he does bring it home in 5th. Yeah, when you go?
Let's just give it a bit of a race. Oh, we do have actually a battle. Hold on. RTI. Is this a battle? Yeah, it's still going.
Yeah. This battle is absolutely still going.
Let's keep this going.
Yeah, let's keep this going here. So Uni Clark, he is still, like I say, we hit the Ferrari on Porsche action. He has been keeping them honest and clean. He has dropped off a bit there. There is some back markers involved here as well, so this is all getting a bit messy on the last lap. Will we see any last turn heroics from Uni? He is right up in the slipstream. Can he get the foot down early enough to make a difference here?
He's tried to.
He really has tried to. He's pushing hard. These guys are going to cross the line side by side. Can Uni get it done on the line? Who took the place? Tribal Fern took it by a 10th and a half. At the death.
Wow, that looked close. That looked close.
Unbelievable finish there from
fantastic.
These guys. That is incredible. So we do have the full race results in. If I can catch my breath, we've got Kajitako in 14th, Leon Spitz 13th, Leantonelli's 12th, Fizzy Snuggles 11th, Sharkazulu's in 10th, Kamikaze's 9th, Uni Clark is 8th, Tribal Fern in 7th, Neil Alfonso up to 6th, great drive from him, AJ in 5th, Dutchman in 4th, Gobolak and Kubica. Never write them off, guys. Never write off Alexis. Take 3rd and 2nd. And PCR Patricek in that beautiful Ferrari takes 1st place. Bailey, Absolutely unbelievable event-driven race there. Can barely remember that. Yes, so much happened.
Yep, a lot of stuff happened, and I'm just thinking back to some of those incidents and how it may have affected AJ's race. He was on all tyres, but he's done really, really well to keep fifth, and he was really, really struggling with that car. But yeah, overall, fantastic race from all the drivers. I can't complain too much.
Yeah, really, really was. Got the feel for Murdoch to Menace, put in a fantastic race, got himself into the lead after a pit stop, found himself on the receiving end of a touch of grass, which is so often the undoing of everyone at this absolutely fantastic course. Let me just... we'll have a quick run through what's coming up, Bailey.
Yes, let's do it.
So coming up next, we have another race starting in about half an hour's time. I will be taking part in 2B. There will be a streamed event. Simon, he's got his brand new microphone, so everyone tune in.
Very
Tell him how wonderful he sounds. Let him know exactly how much you love his commentary. Of course, the next week we have the Silverstone on the 13th. Why does that say the 13th, Bailey? Sorry. It's actually the 20th, I believe. So the next event will be the 20th. Don't worry, no commentators will be sacked after the making of this programme.
The graphic designer might be, though.
The graphic designer might be. He will indeed might be. We do have the Sprint Series as well. That will take place on the 14th. Let me
tomorrow.
just double check my calendar. That is indeed tomorrow. That is, of course... the Winter Series with the Pro guys. Let me just quickly bring up this. Why not? A bit of self-promotion. I'm Double O Raven. That's SOP Curly Red. And I'm also looking to bring up... there we go. This is the Winter Sprint Series. It will be round 3 on Monday. Make sure you join us for that. We've had some fantastic races the first two. We've had points going left, right and centre. We've had 2 different race winners. We've had completely different podiums in both races. So this series truly is shaping up to be unbelievable, Bailey. You do not want to miss this before the Christmas break. Am I right, my good friend?
That is right. Yeah, absolutely. I was just about to bring up the fact that it's the Christmas break. It doesn't change much because I think all the drivers are treating it as if it's the final tomorrow. Every race, really. There's all been really good stuff. And Baggy leading the chat. No, he's not, is he? I'm not too sure. There's a few mixes in the championship at the moment, and definitely shaping up to be an exciting one towards the end. Even in round 3, it's exciting.
It really is. It really is. But like I say, we're only 3 rounds in, and the races that we've had and the way the championship is shaping up with the points, we will bring you a points update at the start of the next broadcast.
Yeah, absolutely.
And keep you up to date. But I think that's about it from us this week, Bailey. I need to go and scuttle off and get myself ready to take part in a 1-hour race at Brands Hatch. So make sure you're tuning in for everyone. Thank you once again for your time. Thank you for any likes. Thank you for the subscribes. Join us on Twitter. Join us on the website and Discord. You could be here listening to Bailey and I caressing your name over the airwaves as you race towards podium greatness. Bailey, thanks once again for joining us, or joining me,
yes, thank you very much.
keeping me on the straight and narrow. I'm looking forward to our next broadcast together, bud.
Yes, absolutely. See you all tomorrow, please.
Indeed, tomorrow. Till then, guys, take it easy.